In 2005, author and historian Doris Kearns Goodwin wrote a book about Abraham Lincoln and his cabinet called A Team of Rivals. The book became a movie in 2012 entitled Lincoln, obviously. The movie was primarily about the 13th Amendment getting passed right before his second inauguration and mainly about the Civil War, those two things. The book was mainly about his cabinet and how he had to deal with people that for more or less opposed him during the 1859 Republican primaries. Prior to getting nominated at the Republican National Convention in 1859, Lincoln was a nobody. He was a small town lawyer. He was a private and a captain in the Illinois militia. He served in the Illinois House of Representatives for a couple of years, and he was a one-term U.S. House of Representatives member from Illinois 7th District. He was a political nobody. And he had to deal with people with long political resumes like Edward Bates, Salmon P. Chase, and William H. Seward. Go look at their resumes. It's a lot longer than Lincoln's was at that time, trust me. And also, a lot of states had started seceding prior to him getting inaugurated in March of 1860, so he had a lot to contend with. And when Lincoln won the primary and ultimately the 1860 election, he had to deal with, how do I keep the party together and still have a successful presidency? How do I know? Because he said it. He said, we needed to hold our own people together. I had looked the party over and concluded that these were the very strongest men. Then I had no right to deprive the country of their services. Law number 2 of the 48 Laws of Power says, never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. But hire a former enemy and he will be more loyal than a friend because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more fear from friends than from enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. Now again, people, there's a disclaimer. There's a reversal to every law. And there's also a couple of laws that talk about how you can infiltrate someone pretending to be a friend or disguising yourself as an enemy. But we'll get into that later. Also, if you want to know about Thomas Jefferson and John Adams and how it reversed, how friends became enemies, let me know and I'll tell you. But he made Edward Bates his Attorney General, he made Salmon P. Chase his Secretary of Treasury, and he made William Seward his Secretary of State. William Seward is the one that bought Alaska from Russia. Look it up. Seward's Folly. So Abraham Lincoln, knowing that he was not experienced in national government, he was not even that experienced in state government. He put people around him that were political rivals as far as policies and procedures and how they wanted to lead the country, and made them a part of his administration. So if he failed, they failed. If they succeeded in their jobs in keeping the country together, there is a possibility that they could have made Lincoln what we know of him today, one of the greatest presidents in United States history. And whether they knew it or not, politicians, and in this case, U.S. presidents, have been putting their political rivals in their cabinets since the beginning. What do you think?